Welcome everybody to another episode of ETE. Everything else that's covering the G1 as Jemal takes a million shots and one big one at the end. Dude, someone's been dealt with. Someone's been dealt with. And that's what we're about to do. We're about to deal with everything that's been happening in the world of professional wrestling and mostly focus on the G1. I am your host, or one of them. Mark is the grand finale, and I'm joined by, as always, for this very episode with
Three faces of Jemal, you already know. Host of the Mid-Card Meth podcast, and also the host, or the second host, or one of the hosts of E.T.
E.T. Number one podcast in all Japan. I know it for a fact. I don't know.
It's gotta be. It's gotta be. Nobody watches the Bishamon podcast. Nobody watches that shit.
No, it's all us. It's all us. It's all us. We have it all covered down to a T. So if you want your G1 news, you come to us. Jemal, first of all, I'm going to have you do a summary because you did the history of the G1 podcast this week. You released the first edition of that. Sell that. I was listening to it earlier today. You went over some stuff. I learned some stuff that, apparently Hulk Hogan's the first IWGP motherfucking champion. I hate it.
Man, yeah. So the G1 Climax, it's basically, for those that don't know, I mean, you've been living underneath a rock all this damn time, and I'm not talking about living underneath Dwayne, not Dwayne, a rock, not the rock.
But lately, when I look at his bank account and I look at mine, I feel like I'm living under a rock every single day. Like, damn it, he's filthy rich. He's a billionaire. He's a billionaire.
Yes, the G1 Climax is the annual tournament that is held in Japan. It's supposed to be like a collection of world-class wrestlers that come together for this big tournament and see who's the best of the best of the best.
The best around. Nothing ever gonna bring it down. But
now the iteration of the tournament has been done in many different forms, many different iterations of it. It used to be called the World League when it first started in 59 and 74 rather, but it was started as early as 1959. Antonio Inoki, it's all him. That motherfucker. That motherfucker was Jeff Jarrett before Jeff Jarrett was Jeff Jarrett.
Basically on your podcast, and I don't want to spoil it. I'm encouraging people to listen to it for more information. But if you want to hear the legend of Jeff Jarrett back in 1959, but a Japanese edition, it was Antonio Inoki. And if you go back and listen to episode 1 of the Mid-Card Best podcast of the history of the G1, you will get all that information and hear about the Andre the Giants competing in the Hogans and all the many iterations of the tournament. And here we are now. We're here to cover 32, the 32nd, I guess. That was a spoiler. I guess I said my 32. 32.
I mean, it's the 32nd iteration of the G1. And just like you, I didn't start watching G1 until goddamn 2009, 2010,
somewhere around there.
And that was here and there. It wasn't let's watch this bitch. No, it's a grind. It's a grind to watch.
There is so many matches. That's why it is so much. Each show is about 3 hours. It's so much to watch, and a lot of it is just the early stages. First of all, we're going to cover each block on this show. Block A, which is known as the Monster Block because it has all the monsters in there, whether you're Lance Archer or Okada or Cobb or whoever. But we're going to go all down through the matches and go over everything we saw. So on the first night back in, about closer to
the 16th, July 16th.
July 16th, we had a few matchups. Hold on, let me bring up the card here. Let's go
with
with
upsets already. That shit was funny as
upsets.
hell.
Aaron Hanare defeated Hiroshi Tanahashi in the C block. First match. Tanahashi arm gets injured in the match, and Aaron Hanare takes advantage, wins the match, and Tanahashi does off the board, does not have any points yet. I'm sure he's going to score. He's going to come back, probably come out of the block at the end. But this is an interesting start to the G1 that
So
Aaron Hanare is
just for those who that doesn't understand, like you could lose the very first match of this G1 and still win the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
It's a point based system. It's a point based system. You get 3 points for winning for pinfall submission.
Two, right?
Oh, my fault. Thank you for correcting me. You get 2 points for winning pinfall submission. You get 1 point if it's a draw or no contest, the time limit runs out, or you get no points if you lose. You lost.
You lost.
You're done.
But the benefit of this is that so many matches, each person gets 6 matches per block, right? So
it's gonna depend on the size of this tournament and stuff like that. So basically, like you're gonna wrestle everyone at least once. Whoever comes up with the most points at the end of that block, the winners of that block, which is gonna be the highest point total, is gonna wrestle for that block, and then the blocks are gonna wrestle each other. So the winner of A block is gonna wrestle probably like D block, and B block is going to wrestle C block, or it might, I don't know how they're going to do it this year, but like it might be A versus B, and then D versus C, and then whoever wins those blocks faces each other in the finals, and then I don't know how they're going to do it.
And so on this opening night, probably my favorite match of this opening night was Will Osprey versus El Fantasma. I just thought it was a very strong athletic contest with one of the best finishes I've ever seen. Just clean. It was just, complaining to the ref and then right to the face. Like, dang.
All I know is that El Fantasma fought his little ass off, and he had him. He kicked. Osprey showed intestinal fortitude, kicking out. He looks at the ref like, "What the fuck?" And then here comes the hidden blade out of nowhere. You want to talk about out of nowhere moves in wrestling? That hidden blade is crazy. That's a whole.
It is fantastic. It's just like, I just knocked the shit out of you, and it looks like a real knockout move. Like it is a finishing move. Like you get hit by it. It looks like
saw the sweat. You saw the sweat. You saw the jaw move. You saw his whole head contort in the mat. Like it was over. I was like, dang.
It's a move that I can't figure out how Osprey actually does without knocking somebody the fuck out and injuring them permanently. Like every single time that he connects with it, and it looks like it really connects each time, but that person does not go like, "Oh, I'm out for like 20 weeks." That looks like it destroyed your jaw every time he lands it. And this one was no different. When he landed that, in that split second of complaining the two, because wrestlers complain about that 2 count all the time to the ref, and nothing really ever happens to him, but it looks like that slight mistake right there. Bam! It was just like, that was it. Lights out.
Cost him 2 points.
Cost him
2 points.
The metaphor hold up to 2. Then you have Jay White versus Cold Skull Sonata. Jay White pulls out the victory. Dirty tactics of a eye poke and a blade runner.
Yeah, he had to poke him in the eye. For those that don't know, Sonata was just jacked up with his eye. He used to be the IWGP United States champion. They injured his eye. So, that same move that we were just talking about earlier, the hidden blade by Will Ospreay, he damaged Sonata's eye with that move. So that just tells you how dangerous that move is. He was out of action for a while until he, got back into the G1 and stuff like that. But, Jay White did his best Pai Mei impersonation.
Bye, you son of a bitch. And then the main event, respectively flow. Great main event, by the way, for the show. Great opening night in general, but Okada versus Jeff Cobb just tore the house down. I know I said Osprey and Fantasma was my favorite match. It was. This is my second favorite right here. This was a phenomenal match, but you expect nothing less from Okada at this point. And Jeff Cobb. Like, the power of Jeff Cobb is amazing. The going into multiple tombstones in the match. It was just like, man, they went all out for this one.
I think Cobb has something to prove when it pertains to wrestling Okada, and that's going to be everybody in this monster block. Okada does not have an easy journey. And Jeff Cobb, of all the people that he had to draw number one, was a tough cover. I'm not saying Okada is easy, but goddamn.
Yano next. Okada got Yano next. That's easy. Although Okada's probably going to slip up and lose to Yano. I feel like that always happens. I don't know why. It's just Yano wins with random DQ or some shit.
Well, let's go to fucking night 2, and then you're going to understand the upset of Yano. Yano is a very dangerous competitor in these G1s. He's a block breaker.
He be cheating. So we can talk about night 2 when we can cover Yano defeating Jonah via underhanded tactics. And by underhanded, I mean one via count out, low blow, double low blow to get the 2 count.
Hey, the Mighty did a lot of kneeling that night, okay?
I was upset. I was a little upset. I was like, oh, man, come on, Jonah. You got to beat Yano.
Yano is a block breaker. He's a block breaker. Anybody that he is not going to, that you think he's not going to win, he'll pick up those 2 points. He only needs the points.
Yeah, he steals points. He stole them. I really wanted Jonah because Jonah was dominating most of the match. He was whooping his ass.
As he should.
Yeah, as he should. And then it's just like out of nowhere, low blow to the outside. And that's our first count-out victory of the tournament so far. El Luchador says, Yano defeating Jonah was so awful. It was by count out. If it was by pinfall, I would have been more upset. But it was some shady shit. It was some shady shit.
At least he didn't hit him.
Bounce back.
At least he didn't hit him with the roll up. He tried.
Yeah, he tried multiple.
He tried
multiple things.
This is one of those things that I like the G1 for, because there's so many different ways that you can win or lose this tournament. And you know, when's the last time you've seen a count out victory aside from Yano?
Night 3. The next night.
But again, in Japan, it's basically you got counted out twice because they count to 20. They don't count to 10. You have time.
You have time. In Japan, it's mostly you slide in on 19. Everybody slides in on 19. 17, 18. Oh, and the crowd reacts right away. But moving on. My favorite match of night 2. Zack Sabre Jr. Kenta, and just a masterclass of technicality and physicality. Just a great match. Just a great match with a really nice finish. And I'm going to agree with Kenta. Kenta didn't tap. Kenta did not tap.
He didn't. Nope. Kenta did not tap. But, you know, it is what it is. Soy Boy Power got the points. All right?
But I'm gonna say he really did tap. Though. It was a quick tap. I saw it, but he's gonna agree that he did tap. Do you think he really did tap, or are you gonna believe it?
Soy Boy Power just makes it look so good. So you know you can't fault them for thinking that Kenta tapped out, but.
But good match. And then Juice Robinson defeats Shingo Takagi. And I'm gonna call it upset. Still carrying the United States title. I don't know why Osprey won't get his shit up. It's a huge upset.
It's an upset because Takagi dominated this competition last year, and he was beating everyone. And Juice Robinson, my bad, rock hard.
Juice
Robinson looking at pictures of his scandalous wife on OnlyFans, making him rock hard. Ends up picking up the victory against Shingo Takagi, which I thought was a huge upset. And, you know, if this is Juice's coming out party, then let the party rock. Let the party rock culture shock.
I feel like Juice, he's going to pick up this win, but I still feel like it's not like he's going to come out. I don't think he's coming out of the block or he's going to win. I don't know if it's going to be a coming out party for him.
Well, you got to think
like
of Juice's block. Think of Juice's block. Juice's block is very interesting because it has Chase. It has doesn't have Chase. Yes, Chase. It's Jay. It's
El Fantasma, Will Osprey,
Phantasmo, Osprey,
Yoshihashi.
and I mean, nobody cares about Yoshihashi. We don't judge Yoshihashi.
we don't fuck with Yoshihashi. Just like I know. I just like saying Yoshihashi because I know that. God. I know the emotions it brings. I know the emotions Yoshihashi.
Get his Bishaman ass out of here with his fucking pole. Then look, remember the pre-matches that they had with the tag, and he's just like, "Yeah, I'm gonna win the match," type stuff. And it was like, nobody believes you, Yoshihashi. Nobody believes you. Fucking David Finlay and him arguing about, like, you know, David Finlay like, raise my hand, bitch. I'm gonna be the one. Crazy.
Yeah, either one, not one. But
yeah, Juice's block is very interesting, especially if he's gonna face his Bullet Club brethren. Tonga is also in this block, so you gotta watch out.
The Juice Robinson, the matchup that you should look forward to is him versus David Finlay, his former tag team partner.
Well, that's going to be the next match that he has, but I'm looking at the Osprey Juice match because is Osprey going to grab his belt back, or is Juice going to fucking?
I forgot about that. Like, yeah, they can settle that right there because I know he's had the belt for a bit, stole it, took it to America. You know,
did he really though?
He stole it.
He won the match. He is in the exact same position Will Osprey was when the IWGP full champion was there.
Just to add this, I'm not gonna do this to Baron Corbin. I like Baron Corbin more than I like Yoshihashi. Just for the record. I support Baron Corbin.
He's Heath Slater, man. He's Heath Slater of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Okay, that's more accurate.
He got kids.
He's more appealing. Somebody fucking him. I don't know who in their right mind fucking Yoshihashi. His neck looked like goddamn fucking coffee cake rolls. Like the fuck. Yeah.
Also in night 3, Taichi defeated Ishii in the B block. It was a good match. I enjoyed it. It was fine. It was hard hitting, going back and forth. I honestly didn't know who was gonna actually win this match. Probably one of the closer. Like, I don't know who's coming out on top of this one, but it's solid match.
Yeah, Taichi actually is on the last legs of his career, so it's good to see that he's still got something left in the tank. Something left in the tank.
It's not just singing, guys. It's just not singing. He has a match or two left. All right, moving on to last night's night 3. Let's see. Where we at?
Yo, Fale picked up that victory. It was count out, but still picked up that victory though.
I have a feeling that Jonah and Archer are not going to do well in this tournament. I don't know. I feel like Archer is going to get a lot of fluke losses like he got last night against against Fale with the count out victory.
That was a good ass match though.
That's good. It's better than I thought.
Right off the rip, he tried to fucking hit him with the fucking heel. The fact that Archer came in and just punched one of the young boys in the face, it's like everybody died.
His usual entrance of attacking the young boys, as the great Kevin Kelly says. Archer hasn't been in the G1 in 2 years. The young boys have been safe. But now he's back there. Where do you stand on referee grabbing chairs and stopping the person from hitting the person with a chair? I always feel like, hey, if he's gonna hit him with the chair, you should just let him do it. For the simple fact, it will be a DQ victory for the other person. Yeah, they get probably less points or whatever, but
the referee is out there to do a job that is part of their job to keep order. So yes, referees stopping people from hitting with chairs, even though it'll end the match. If the wrestler really wants to hit the other motherfucker with the chair, he'll knock your stupid referee ass out and then fucking hit the motherfucker with the chair and get DQ'd anyway. So do you want to get hit with the chair, or do you want somebody else to get hit with the chair?
I'm just one of those. Yeah, I'm one of those this is in all wrestling, in all whatever. When the referee grabs the chair and stops the guy from hitting them, I'm going like, nah, man, that's not your job. Your job. I always get mad when they do it. I don't know why it triggers me, but I'm like, man, back up.
But it is his job or her job. No, it is your job to keep order from chaos. It's your job to keep order from chaos. Keep it within the facet of the rules. There are some better referees out there. There are some referees that are shit. Do your job. Blind ass, fragile ass referees. All that health insurance and you can't see shit.
I'm going to go over it. Tonga versus Chase Owens. What did you think of that match?
Good ass match. Good ass match. And as much times as Chase Owens blocked the gun stun, I have to say, I thought Chase had this I thought he had it. But Tonga finds a way and does his best Randy Orton impression and gun stuns Chase out of the fucking...
He can do it from anywhere, as I go with DDP instead. He can apply for anywhere with the gun stun. It was a good match. It was a really good match.
I like the story that was told.
Yeah, it was a good story. It wasn't, again, I felt like night 1 and 2 was a lot better than night 3. But night 3 has some solid matches. Like this one was good. The
So you didn't like the Naito Goto match?
No, that was good. It was a worthy main event. It was fine. But again, I don't give a fuck about Goto. I don't. I never will. And I like he
so
won.
So if it was anybody else but Goto,
I'll probably be more invested into it because Goto won the match, and I'm like, whatever. He's not coming out the block.
Because he did get hit with Destino. Like,
yeah, and he kicked out.
Naito hit him with that shit.
And he kicked out of Destino, and I'm going like, but it's Goto. New Japan refuses to get behind him, therefore I refuse to get behind him. I just consider him, he's Japanese Dolph Ziggler, if you want to put it in context. Yeah, he's got talent. He can make it, he can give you good matches and everything, but they're never getting behind him 100%.
So does Dolph Ziggler and Heath Slater team up and then become Fisher Boys? Fisher Boys.
Fisher Boys.
These Bishamon motherfuckers. God.
But it was a really good main event, but I just think that the first 2 nights blew this night. Like last night when I was watching, I was going like, maybe I was just tired. I'm in the middle of the night. I was like, I'm just not really feeling this show. It's just solid matches, but there wasn't really anything. There was no Kenta Sabre Jr. There was no Okada Cobb. There was no Fantasma Osprey on a night 3. I just felt like those were like really special G1 matches.
I don't know. I think this the Tonga Chase Owens match, if you go back and watch it, then you can see like the seeds of what Tonga is gonna have to go through, especially going against his former Bullet Club compatriots, seeing what's going on, seeing how that's gonna go down, seeing how that's gonna play out. Because Tonga could set himself up to be the perfect spoiler. No offense to Dick to go. I still can't believe they made that man Dick to go.
Dick to go. got to use that name in WWE too in the Attitude Era. If you watch Raw's Retro, he was a part of the whole choppy pee pee segment and everything. And I'm going like Dick to go, and that's your name, and yet you about to chop off a dick too. That's
to go. But yeah, man, like this sets up Tama Tonga to put himself in prime position for revenge, the ultimate spoiler for Bullet Club in this whole block.
Yeah,
he could give a fuck about anybody else in this block. He wants Bullet Club, and he wants revenge.
Revenge.
Cue the Kill Bill. Cue the Kill Bill sound.
Right off the jump. That's the second Kill. You must have recently watched Kill Bill recently for YouTube.
I did.
Because that was the second Kill Bill reference. Because you did the Padme I, and now you're doing this. Or Padme, not Padme. Wrong movie. That's Star Wars. Padme I is like, oh shit. Padme I.
When you watch Kill Bill, you have to watch Volume 1 and Volume 2 back to back as one movie. There is no in between.
That's too much. I can't watch them both back to back. That's a lot. That's about what, 5 hours?
There is no in between.
I can watch one and just be happy with it, to be honest. I like Volume 2, but I can watch one and just be like, I can go to Volume 2 some other time. Great movies.
When you see Oren's head just fucking
yeah. It slides up with the water drops outside in the snow.
The fantastic soundtrack.
Always like when she in the board meeting when Owen she just chops off the dude's head and it's like, this is what now's the fucking time. Anybody got a problem with me? Damn. I was like, all right. That's some bullshit.
It's just because the body is just that's crazy.
But that was the G1 recap for the first 3 nights of it. We're gonna have more coverage as it unfolds. I believe the next night is July 24th. I think.
Yep.
That's one in a few days.
July 24th. No, 23rd. Yep. July 23rd.
Yeah. So we'll be back next week with more of that. And that's the end of the show. No, we still have more. Still more.
Yeah, New Japan Strong is holding up Never Open Weight Tag Team Championship tournament going on. Yes, they got that going on.
So their women's titles are title trash. Other companies are exploiting tag team wrestling. What's going on in the Never Open Weight tournament right now?
So
I haven't watched New Japan Strong. That's something I did.
They have these makeshift tag teams or tag teams from other promotions that was in the tournament. Right now it's looking like they are sticking to their New Japan guns, having like the Aussie Open, people that have not been featured prominently. You got Team Filthy still in the running. Yeah, this is just going to be a plethora thing of that, but I'll start discussing that after SummerSlam when I get back to the news of the week of the mid-card mess, because I have a lot that I'm working on. I actually have an episode that I recorded yesterday. Me and Mr. Adrian Cotton was talking about the great books of professional wrestling. So look out for that episode about to drop. Me and Justin Murphy. Me and him supposed to do the episode. So I'm waiting to do that episode before I drop this one, and then so on and so forth. Because
you have a plethora of episodes coming out. You're a one-person podcast network that has multiple ventures, where there's history of G1, books of professional wrestling, which seems interesting. I don't know how many books you've read on them. I've read a few, but never as much as I know. It's like
we talked about a lot. We talked about Kurt Angle's book. We talked about Chyna's book, Chris Jericho's book, like multiple books, McFoley's book, The Rock's book. You want to know what happens in Young Rock season, whatever the fuck? Just read The Rock's first book. That's it. That's all you got to do.
Yeah. I remember reading The Rock's book when I was younger. It was like 200 pages, and I was like, okay. But we're kind of in the middle of this. Like when I was reading, I was like, I think it's a little too soon. Like now, if you were to get a Rock book, it'd probably be like 7,000 pages of how he got to billions of dollars and every movie he got to and all the wrestling stuff. It'd be all included in there. So The Rock is due probably for a new book. I feel like he's due for a new book if he has one, because that one was in like the heart of like the rise of the Rock. Like I think he just became WWF champion at that point, right? When that book was coming out.
That was SmackDown Shut Your Mouth. So yeah, just around there.
Yeah. So moving on, Major League Wrestling (MLW) had King of the Coliseum this week. On free for YouTube. On free for YouTube for those who don't.
$3.99.
$3.99. Just go in there, watch it. It does have ads and whatnot, but it's free. It's free. You can't be free. Where Hammerstone versus Holiday was the main event, and the main event that I thought was kind of short, but still it was all right. It was still a pretty good match overall. Like,
well, you have to think about
more time.
Story. You have to think about the story of that match. Matt Holiday
Dynasty.
and Alex Hammerstone was part of a group called the Dynasty, led by MJF, and they ran Buckshot through MLW for a long time before freaking Jacob Fatu with Contra, before before Shane Strickland was there. Exactly. Like, this is during the time they made that group during the time that Shane Strickland was Mr. MLW. You know what I'm saying? Swerve was that was Swerve's house.
That was Swerve's house. That was the original Swerve house.
So, but yeah, so like, as soon as MJF signed his contract to go to AEW and stuff like that, Holiday and Hammerstone went their separate ways, obviously. But Hammerstone went on being a good guy, and this generation's, I guess he's trying to be Hulk Hogan, but I don't know why.
He's a Hulk Hogan, Scott Steiner, superstar,
Ultimate
Billy
Warrior,
Graham, Ultimate Warrior.
Like he's just this big meaty meathead, but he's good, so you can't really knock him for that. And then Holiday is like your young Randy Orton, your young arrogant prick. So the story was there, and the match did not disappoint for me.
No, I just thought it should have been longer. I just thought, the history between these two, it felt like it was like a 10-minute match. I felt like it was really quick. I don't know, maybe it was just whatever time, or I don't know if this is post-production, they edited something out, but it just felt like it was shorter than it should have been. I feel like this should have been a real epic, but then again, it's on free TV. It's on free TV. Maybe I should have to pay for a longer and more detailed match between these two, but it was very quick. I felt like it was a good match though.
What was your favorite spot of the night?
German suplex. Nice, man. Honestly, I enjoyed him getting hit by the shoe. I don't know why. I thought the announcer's yelling, "Where's her shoe? Where's her shoe? Where's her shoe?" It's on the other side. Like, hit him with the heel. I just felt like it wouldn't have been enough, but it was funny to me. I don't know. That's my favorite spot for the worst reasons. What about you?
When they were in the middle of the ring, he was trying to attack him with the belt, but he was just like, "Nah, not today. Not today, big homie."
That's true. That was pretty good too. But yeah, it was a lot of short, underhanded tactics. But I feel like we should run this back and give him more time. More time. Other news: Ric Flair has announced this last match, the match that he's injured in, that is now a tag match featuring the legendary now Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal, Team TNA versus Ric Flair and Andrade El Idolo.
El Idolo.
How do you feel about this being moved into a tag match? And what are your thoughts on this match in general at all? That it exists?
So hearing the card, I was like, yo, what the fuck? Like, I wasn't jacking it. But then I watched Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal beat the piss out of Ric Flair. So I was like, fuck yes, let this match happen. I need to see this.
We have an angle. They beat the shit out of him in a parking lot.
I loved you. He's beating his ass, his old ass, man. He was beating Jeff Jarrett. Fucking, I didn't know whether it was real or shoot. I didn't know what the fuck. All I know is that you can't even get up. Oh
Get up.
Beating his ass.
Now, the hype for this goes back to when Ric Flair was doing training videos with Jay Lethal. It's funny that they decided to put a story behind all this, which is interesting. Because it started with Jay Lethal training and working with Ric Flair, and then Jay Lethal was supposed to appear, I think, on the Ric Flair podcast, and then he just didn't show up. And then Ric Flair is like, Jay Lethal has an attitude problem. He's a piece of garbage. And he can never lace my boots and all that. Till now they are doing documentary series episode 1 and episode 2. Ric Flair got his ass beat by Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett in a parking lot. Nothing like shooting a documentary on your last match and then getting your ass beat on there out of nowhere.
Who was that was on the outside with him? Was that fucking Crockett, Jim Crockett?
Yeah,
fucking standing on the outside.
I want to say Davy Crockett. Yes,
Davy Crockett. Somebody, some fucking Crockett nigga was out there.
David Crockett Jr. Yeah, the Crockett Promotions. The one who's always in the ads.
That motherfucker was just standing there letting shit happen. I'm like, come on, step in, do something. You're watching a murder. They're murdering him.
That's a 79-year-old man. You're not jumping in. You're not jumping in.
He was getting blocked. He was getting blocked by Karen Jarrett or Karen Angle or Karen. Yeah, it was Karen Jarrett. Yeah, never mind. That's another angle.
Yeah,
that's another angle.
That's a different plot twist. When I really can't wait for a fully uncut version of the rise and fall of TNA or whatever going on, the Jeff Jarrett era, the Dixie. Just give me a documentary on all that with all the wrestlers talking about the go in and outs of that one, so we can get the dirt of the Karen Angle, Jarrett, Kurt Angle saga and all that shit that was going on there. Because that was wild. That was
crazy. Wild. And it was real.
Yeah, that was a real angle whatsoever. Like, Dark Side of the Ring should jump into that one. I don't know why we're missing that one already.
You know what's really crazy? Around that same time as that was happening, the Edge Lita fucking Matt Hardy trilogy was going on at the same time.
Was that going on at the same time? It wasn't like a few years
later? That was going on at the same time. Crazy. It was like they saw one episode of Jerry Springer and we was like, gotta do it. Pull the trigger.
Gotta do it. And then TNA decides to go full Jerry Springer by having AJ sleep with a crackhead and she goes missing and disappears, whatever that shit was.
We're not trying to fire Eric all of a sudden and all types of
stuff. TNA, vintage TNA, wild years of wrestling. Fuck what's going on there? But so they're gonna have a really good card. It's the same weekend as SummerSlam weekend, right? Jeff Jarrett getting double booked. Vince McMahon allowed Jeff Jarrett to do this. Why? I don't even know. Because Jeff Jarrett, if you don't know, is a part of some type of, he's a producer or a part of talent relations. I don't honestly know what his job title is in WWE, but we have a forbidden door situation where AEW, WWE, and Ric Flair are all working together. All people.
New Japan is represented on that show. MLW is represented on that show. It's just, you got the Guns versus the Wolves. You got the Briscoes versus the Von Erichs, the new Von Erichs.
It won't be the old ones,
They're all dead.
That's sorry for the joke, but yeah. It's not a joke.
We're just gonna get Fritz in there, but Fritz is in the grave. Reanimation jutsu, get him out of here. Let's go.
Let's get some holograms going.
Oh man. What other matches there? There's a triple threat between Jordan Grace, Miss Controversy herself, with Deonna Purrazzo and Rachel Ellering for the Impact Women's Championship, Knockouts Championship. You got Alexander versus Fatu, Jacob
Yep.
Fatu for the
Yep.
Impact World Championship. You got Hammerstone. No, who's the MLW match? Oh man, can't remember. I saw the whole card. I was looking at it.
Yeah, it's a stacked card though. It's actually a pretty impressive card for a show. That they really threw a lot of stuff together, and it was like, oh, this isn't just a one match tag match. I guess at the end, it's actually going to be a really stacked card. If you're a wrestling fan, you should actually tune in and see a lot of some really good matches. Actually, some really good matchups set
Except
up
for
for
the
this
main
show.
event. The main event will not be a good match unless Jay Lethal and Andrade save
Andrade,
it.
they're gonna do all the hard work. Jeff Jarrett probably will throw a punch here and there. Ric Flair would do probably some typical Ric Flair spots. Flipping
Jeff
over the
Jeff Jarrett
rope,
Jeff Jarrett
falling
has
on
to
his
hit
face.
Jeff Jarrett has to hit Flair with a guitar. Flair has to fall down doing a chop. He got
I
to get
got
punched and then fall down.
I got Jay Lethal getting hit with the guitar. I got Jeff
Huh?
Jarrett swinging it. Jay Lethal holding Ric Flair, and then Ric Flair coming free, and then Jay Lethal gets hit with the guitar. Jarrett
Maybe
freaks out.
maybe Andrade gets hit with this guitar.
Yeah. Also, there's rumor that Charlotte Flair will be at the show too.
I mean, that is her husband. That is her
Yeah,
father.
that's her father and husband. I mean, why wouldn't she be? If I'm Vince, I'm like, throw her in there. Let's see what happens in the match. Get her involved. Maybe
Charlotte
Jason.
Flair is gonna hit a figure eight on fucking. It's gonna be a 3-person figure something that makes fucking somebody tap out.
You figure it out.
At the end, slime
uh,
just comes everything everywhere.
all right, and then since this will be our last story to cover for the show, the chase for the NWA title number one contender spot is going
Manny,
on.
we are so sorry, Manny. We're so
Yeah,
sorry. We send our
yeah,
condolences for the rest
yeah.
of the people in this tournament. Uh, we hate to inform you that Nick Aldis is the fucking person that's going to go against Trevor Murdoch for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship.
Of all the people in this match, whether
And he might
it's
win that
Cole,
motherfucker. And
Adonis,
that's the crazy
Lattimore,
thing.
yeah, I don't have him winning. I think we're still waiting for Cardona to get healed up, and he can probably go after Murdoch and
He needs to save the
do
NWA
one
like
two
he did.
originally save the NWA. But Nick Aldis is in there again one more time. My favorite thing about this whole tournament was the previous week when Tim Storm got to fight for the NWA title. The ban was uplifted, and what he did with it was just kick Nick Aldis in the nuts and got himself DQ'd. Back to the commentary table. I died laughing, going like, you wasted your one shot at it again. You fool. You fool. You old fool. But yeah, Nick Aldis. One more time, everybody.
Son of a
Manny's
bitch.
favorite wrestler. Manny's favorite wrestler. I feel like we're in a current Cold War between your hate for Liv Morgan being champion and Nick Aldis fighting for the NWA title. It's ruining Manny's life. Like both of you guys are just in this world where the darkest timeline is happening, where Bullet Club Liv is existing and Nick Aldis continues to fight for the NWA title. It
all
is
that
a
means
nightmare.
all that means all that means is that, you know, either Yoshihashi or Hiroki Goto is gonna win the G1 Climax 32.
Yeah, it has to go to me. It has to come at me. And Goto's the new IWGP champion after winning the G1.
It's gonna be Goto and Yoshihashi in the finals. No matter what you lose.
We're in the darkest timeline. We're on the path for the darkest timeline right now for this. So
Who do you not want to win the G1 Climax? Like, absolutely will not accept the fact that this person won the G1.
it's probably there's a few, but like Goto, I wouldn't want that. I feel like Yano would just be like a waste. Like, why would that happen? But those are probably the two. maybe Takahashi, the pimp. I don't feel like that would go anywhere with that. But those would probably be the top three that I'd be like, nah, don't want that to happen at all.
Look, man, Yujiro won his match.
Yeah, but I don't want him to come out of the block. Like, well, that's where we're going with this. That's where we're going with the G1 this year. Nah, but I'd rather see numerous other people win. But maybe Taichi. I wouldn't want to see that. I don't think. But I'll be okay. I think I'll be okay with the last run of Taichi winning,
You
but not winning.
You sound like a hater. You sound like a hater.
Yeah, yeah.
You sound like a hater. All the worst possible people win their blocks.
Who you got? Who's your worst? Who's your absolute bottom of the? Don't give me no Yoshi. Exclude it. Who's your worst?
You excluded Yoshihashi, so
damn.
The worst that can win the whole damn thing, the whole shebang.
Yeah.
That's not Yoshihashi. I don't see Tom Lawler, winning the whole damn thing and then going to like Wrestle Kingdom and doing the damn thing. Yeah. So
I don't see him winning, but to me, I'd rather,
The thing about it is that Tom Lawler is such a fantastic wrestler and he's so fucking goddamn entertaining. So, every time I hear his theme song on every opening card of the fucking show, is growing on me. Because I don't watch Strong a lot like that. So,
yeah. And then, he comes out in his booty shorts that are troll booty shorts too. They originally just decided I'm just gonna wear these and wrestle.
But this could be the opening for Team Filthy to be a thing in Japan.
Yeah.
Just as the Mighty Don't Kneel as well, for like Jonah being in the tournament, so the Mighty Don't Kneel could build and then be a faction and do the damn thing. I mean, they already are a faction. The Mighty Don't Kneel, like Shane Haste, Nick, whatever the fuck his name is.
I just like saying that. Just trolling.
Imagine Nick Aldis joining the Mighty.
Imagine him joining anything with Japan.
Oh my god!
What are we doing? But that about wraps up the show today. I think we covered everything. Tune in next week for more G1 news and stuff. And see where we're at with the points after night 4. And I think we also have night 5 as well, right? Coming up in the same day. It's like 23, 24s, something like that. And then I think there's another one somewhere in between. So we may have 3 more nights for you. It's gonna be
a long month of G1. So every time that we come here until at least the end of August, we're gonna be talking about G1 Climax 32. No,
32. Where Yoshihashi will win the whole thing, and you can just see us slowly declining as each week and each night happens.
Our likes will become dislikes.
Yeah. The Yoshihashi army is gonna come at us too.
We are already the lowest rated show on this program.
Hey, we tripled our numbers for the last one. All you need is a good picture of Benoit, and you just double your numbers.
Maybe we need to start doing Thirst Trapper Joneses.
I know. I considered it. It's not enough. It's not
enough. It won't do enough.
There's no one in the Indies just eating bananas randomly on their Instagrams. But then again, we can just post wrestlers from anywhere. Maybe we start covering the Princess Tournament and Stardom right now.
They actually do have that tournament going on.
I know. I saw it. I didn't watch it. I was like, oh, this is going on. We cover that with Thirst Trap them all. We get all the simps.
All the simps with their flat backs.
Like, yes, they're here. This is what we do. All right. But that is it. Hope to see you guys next week. Hope to see you Thursday for the Untitled Mania Market Show, where we cover Barbed Wire Everywhere from AEW, Fighter Fest Night 2. And we can talk about Cora Jade throwing a title in the trash can. the greatest nightmare of any wrestling promotion. The last time WWE will ever show women tag team titles, probably.
Man, I just thought it was so funny that freaking they WWE really showing how they feel about women's tag team wrestling.
Yeah. It was like, whoops, bang, in the trash, done. But
that was a shot. That was a shot at Sasha and Naomi again.
But maybe this is a resurgence. Maybe it's a resurgence. Maybe they bring back the women's tag team title and it's on all shows again, and they can actually do something with it. But this is the WWE. They can give zero fucks about that. WWE doesn't even care about regular tag team wrestling.
They have to figure out how to unify that motherfucker.
Yeah. Just, do what they were originally doing with Sasha and Bayley when they had it on every show and they were going around with it. It actually seemed important, but I doubt that happens. At least they show a little anger as the women in the Battle Royal seem frustrated and tried to kill Cora Jade for doing that.
And then she still lost. She got launched.
She jumped.
Got launched.
That shit was high. I was like, oh, she gonna be okay? I was like,
she went launch. She launched. Zoe Stark launched her stupid ass. That shit was funny as hell.
I went, oh, that's where we're going.
What happened to my grizzled young veterans, man? I'll let y'all talk about that tomorrow.
Yeah, they lost their face. Why does Joe Gacy get to keep his beard, but they couldn't keep their beards? And how did he lose an eye? We're talking about that.
Niggas is looking like Kane and shit.
Kane and Stevie Richards.
Soon to be recognized, though. Shut up.
Yeah. Gone. They're no longer grizzled. They're no longer veterans. They're blind in one eye, I guess. And we'll see.
With some new bullshit ass name. Fucking Jordan Devlin is fucking now Jordan Devlin McDonough.
JD McDonough. It's still the same guy. You still call Jordan Devlin. That's what the JD stands for. I don't have a problem with his name.
He's a fucking doctor now.
I don't know what he was doing with the mannequin top, but I will surgically break him apart and tear it there from him.
Fucking doctor.
I was like, oh shit, Dr. McDonough.
All right, I'm not gonna steal thunder from your other show because you got to cover that.
No, that's fine. It's fine. We're gonna cover it tomorrow because there's a lot to talk about from that show. Dr. McDonough.
Dr. McDonough. Oh man, is there anything in the pipeline that we should be on the lookout for, kind sir?
No. Just the weekly shows this week. Watch along for SummerSlam's coming up, and that's pretty much it. There's nothing else really coming down the pipeline. Best of show, check it out where you can.
Best of July 2022.
What a month. Oh, actually, that's the best of June. That's out. We're still in July. People. We're still in July.
Okay. Yo, how many episodes? I was trying to count how many episodes everything else has because somebody asked me. They were like, "Yeah, man, I've seen that you're on YouTube now." And I was like, "Well, yeah, I think I guess I am. I'm on YouTube now." But like, it's not just me. Like, I had to explain to them that this wasn't my brainchild. This was a collective effort. I'm just tagging along. I had to explain that.
It's a team effort here.
It's a team. It's a team. I got added to the team. I'm like the last of the roster. I'm the new booty.
You're the young boy.
I'm the young boy of the sharpshooters.
I don't know. I'm gonna say about maybe 15, maybe 10. Something like that.
Nah, we more than 10. We got to be more than 10.
More than 10 for sure. But I'll say it's probably around 15 to 10 range, somewhere in there.
All right.
So it's going on. Going strong.
I'm gonna have an official count next week.
Official count. We're at 4, guys. We're at 4. 4 episodes. Like what? So we talked about so much.
Those other 3 didn't count.
That was
Statue of
so
Liberty
trivia.
episode. Fuck it, scrap it.
First episode never mattered. Nah. That was on the beta. That was beta. This is the full.
That was the beta testing. Hyper battle. It was a hyper test.
All of it. All tests. What was the Capital City Riot or whatever? Which one was that? I forget.
Yeah,
Chicago
that was the
Riot or
DC
whatever.
show.
Yeah,
The DC show.
Yeah, it doesn't count. It doesn't count.
Yeah, false champions winning shit. You know, Juice Robinson still got the belt.
Yeah. All right. I'll see you guys later. You guys have a good day. Jemal, later. Deuces. Everybody, tune into the channel. Subscribe, like, do all that stuff. Spin around, shoot your guns. Have a great night.